session will begin now. Thank you for joining us for the IDHD webinar. This webinar is sponsored by the Institute on Disability and Human Development, IDHD, the Leadership, Education, and Neurodevelopmental Disabilities, LEND program, both at UIC's Department on Disability and Human Development, as well as the Autism Program of Illinois, TAP. Funding is provided in part by the Autism Program of Illinois and the Illinois Department of Human Services. We are excited to have great presenters with us today to share about this important topic. And now I will turn it over to our presenters.
Well, thank you. And let's get ready to learn about the Alliance and self-advocacy. Before I start, I just want to share that the Alliance is proud to be an initiative of the Illinois Council on Developmental Disabilities. Next slide. So before we begin, have you heard of the Illinois Self-Advocacy Alliance? We also call ourselves the Alliance for short. So go ahead and respond in the chat box. Remember to select everyone from the drop-down menu. So Derrick, go ahead and ask this question again.
Speak up and speak out. Have you heard of the Illinois Self-Alliance Act or Alliance? Yes or no?
All right, so I'm starting to see some folks respond. I have some no's, I have some yeses. And if you've said yes, thank you so much. We are glad that you've heard of the Alliance, and we hope you'll learn a little bit more today. And if you said no, get ready for one of the best kept secrets in Illinois. So thanks again to everyone who has responded. So next slide, please. So Derrick, tell everybody a little bit about who we are.
Okay, who we are. The Alliance is a network of advocates of self-alliance group around Illinois.
We are a network of advocates and self-advocacy groups around Illinois. And the image on the screen is a picture of several people, some standing and some sitting. They are all holding pieces of paper. Those are certificates. And the people in the image are the graduates from the Alliance's Ambassador Leadership Program. Next slide. So, Derrick, tell everybody about our vision and our mission.
Yes, our vision is for self-advocates to work together to get the support we need in the life we want in the community. Our mission is to speak up for ourselves and each other while working together to make changes in our community in Illinois.
Yes, and our vision and our mission guide all the things that we do that we are thrilled to be sharing with everybody today. Next slide. So with that vision and mission in mind, Derrick, share what our focus is.
Our focus is on empowering people to speak up about what they want and need, don't want and do not need, active plan their goal, participate advocate at the person community and statewide level.
Thank you, Derrick. Yes, we want to empower people, no matter where people are at. We want to empower them to find their voice and to speak up and speak out about the things that are important to them. And we know that some people do it at the personal level, others do it at an agency or organizational level. We do have people who are speaking up and speaking out in the community and also at statewide levels. And Derrick, you have even advocated at the national level when you attended and spoke at the Self-Advocates Becoming Empowered conference.
Yes, I did.
And tell us, where was that held?
I believe it Alabama.
It was in Alabama, and it brought together self-advocates and allies from all over the country. So no matter where you live, you are able to speak up and speak out. Next slide. So what are some of the things we do, Derrick? Tell us.
So support local group, work together on impact issue, offer network, advocate and leading, opportunity, monthly newsletter, webinar, alliance ambassador leadership program, training.
Yeah, so we do a lot of awesome things, whether it's supporting local groups or doing a monthly newsletter, sharing information about learning and advocacy opportunities. We're out there. Again, I like to say we are maybe Illinois' best kept secret. So next slide. And we mentioned that the Alliance is a network of self-advocates and self-advocacy groups, and currently there are 38 member groups in Illinois. So from up north in McHenry and Zion, we have a lot of representation, with member groups in the Chicago and surrounding areas. Central Illinois is represented, and Southern Illinois. As I like to say, no matter where you live, no matter where you work, no matter where you play, chances are there's a self-advocate or self-advocacy group speaking up and speaking out near you. Next slide. So now we want you to meet the people behind the voices today. Go ahead, Derrick.
Okay. Again, my name is Derrick Morris. I am a self-advocate leader, Alliance Ambassador Leader Program graduate.
Yes. And next slide. And I am Krescene Beck. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I serve as the organizational director of the Illinois Self-Advocacy Alliance, and I'm also a co-director with Blue Tower Solutions. Next slide. So we have a question for you, and here's going to be an opportunity for you to speak up and speak out, but you're going to have to use your chat function and select everyone from the drop-down menu. So Derrick, what question do we have for everybody?
What does self-advocate mean to you?
Thank you. So when you hear this word self-advocacy, what does that mean to you? So go ahead and chime in, enter that chat message, share it with everybody. We want to know. What's that question again, Derrick?
What does self-advocate mean to you?
Yeah, what does self-advocacy mean to you? And so we'll wait a second. If you're by yourself, chime in. If you're with a group of folks, maybe you're going to talk about it for a moment and chime in. All right, we have folks saying taking control of your own life and your own goals, sticking up for yourself and your rights, allowing the individual to guide their own journey through life. Oh, I like that. The voice one's rights, wants, needs, and desires, standing up for your wants and needs. And here's the thing, we are all self-advocates, right? We are all engaging in self-advocacy. Self-advocacy is not just for people with disabilities, it's for all of us. But we found that people with disabilities maybe haven't always experienced self-advocacy in the way we, as perhaps people who don't identify as having disabilities. speaking up for one's needs, being able to stand up for what you believe in, and being able to voice your desires and needs. Thank you for these great ideas. Next slide, because then Derrick's going to share what we've heard from a lot of self-advocates, and we've kind of boiled down into one definition. So what is self-advocacy, Derrick?
Self, okay, speaking up and speaking out for yourself and for other people who cannot do or who cannot or do not know how to speak up for themselves.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Speaking up and speaking out. Wonderful. So next slide. So with the Alliance, we do a lot with self-advocacy, meeting people where they are at in their self-advocacy journey. And we like to say that self-advocacy is like a puzzle. And there are a couple pieces of that self-advocacy puzzle that need to be put together. So Derrick, what are those pieces of the self-advocacy puzzle?
Okay, we got who, what, when, where, how, and why.
Yes, and the image on the screen is a line drawing of 4 pieces, puzzle pieces, and they are interlocking. And the words who, what, when, where, how, and why are written on those puzzle pieces. So I hope you all like putting together a puzzle. And even if you don't, you're going to enjoy this puzzle. So let's learn together, shall we? So the first, oh, yes, go ahead. Wonderful. Yes. So what is our first question for folks? Derrick, what's that first piece of the puzzle?
What are some things you can actually speaking up and speaking out for?
Right. And so sometimes, oh, we have a, let me just stop. Sarah says it's a bit hard to hear you. Is there a way you can increase your volume? So if that's for both Derrick and I, we will try to speak louder. Thank you for letting us know.
Okay, then that's loud. I can go.
Okay, wonderful. So the first one is what? What are some things that you can advocate or speak up and speak out for? So some people don't understand the word advocate. So we talk about it in terms of speaking up and speaking out. So I want you to think a moment and then I want you to respond in the chat. You can respond for yourself or you can respond perhaps on behalf of somebody that you support. So think about this. What are some things that you or a person that you support can advocate or speak up and speak out for? Go ahead and respond in the chat box. Make sure you choose everyone in that pull down or the drop down box and enter. What are some things that people can advocate or speak up and speak out for? All right, so we got some good answers coming in. Greater access to services and supports in the community. People can advocate for rights. Yes. What else? What are some other things that people can advocate for? Respect the unique aspects of culture and religion and the level of independence based on what they want and whatever is important. Services, job availability. Wow, these are great questions. So we're going to go to the next slide and we are going to share what other self-advocates have said. We get to go all over Illinois and we get wonderful answers and conversations. And this is what folks have shared. So Derrick, take it away.
What you want, what you want and do not want, what you need and do not need, hope, dream, and goal, where or how you want to live or work, right? If you are unhappy, being hurt, or feeling unsafe, or what that bond
Three.
very consider about power and control. You can speak up about anything that is important to you.
Yeah, so I like this list and I like what folks have added, whether it's services or privacy. We got rights in there. So really, people can speak up about anything that is important to them. And so we all need to encourage that and celebrate that and help empower that. So let's learn about the next piece of the self-advocacy puzzle. So Derek, what is this piece?
Who can you activate? Okay, who can you activate? Speak up and speak out.
Right. So it's how. So the
I
puzzle
mean, how,
piece
I meant to say how. I meant to say how can you
oh,
activate and speak up and speak
yes.
out.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about that.
No, no worries. You're doing a fabulous job. So how can you advocate? So think about all the different ways people can speak up and speak out. Not everybody does it the same, and that's the beauty of life. We all do it differently. We all have our gifts and talents, right, as it relates to advocating. So go ahead and type it in using that chat box. Send it, however, whether it's to everyone or privately, however you're going to send it is perfect with us. So again, Derek, what's that question we're asking?
Oh, how?
Yes. How can you advocate, or how do the people that you support advocate or speak up and speak out? Go ahead and let us know. All right, go into a family member. Yeah. How else? So research, bring attention to the individual. Oh, I like that, because sometimes we're trying to be heard and we just need someone to help us to put our voice to the forefront. Talking is a great way. Ah, bring attention to the issues. All right. So go ahead and let's share what other self-advocates have said. How? So again, when we talk to folks, we say, how can you share what's important to you? What are the different ways? And Derek, what did folks say?
Okay, use your voice. Write down what you want to say. Ask for a meeting, teachers, boss, family, guardian, case managers, or that, how you pronounce that? Oh,
Administration,
administration, leader, write,
legislator.
write,
Yes,
and then write a letter, make a phone call, send an email, use a community device.
yes. So there's lots of different ways to communicate, whether it's the voice or writing it down or letters or phone calls. And I know texting is a big thing and using social media is a big thing. Yes, there's lots of different ways, and people find out what way works best for them. Just because I have a preferred way doesn't mean everybody should or could do it that way. So we have to help people find their best way and celebrate that and empower that. Next slide, let's continue on. So, Derek, what's this one?
Who for? Who can you activate and speak up for and
Yes,
speak out?
this is a really important one. So, who can you advocate or speak up and speak out for? Who's the most important person that you can speak up and speak out for? And I already have anyone and everyone, friends and family, yourself. Yes, yes, wonderful. Yes, anyone that needs it. Fantastic. Yes, yourself and others. So Derek, go. No, that's okay, Anu. You got it. So Derek, go
Okay,
ahead and share what other folks have said.
yourself, other people with disability, friends, families, school, employers, the agency where you get service, something that is important to you. You can be an ally for others.
Yes. And I really like that people that we support, or anybody, we all have the ability to be an ally for others. I meet so many people with disabilities who say, I have allies, but I want to be an ally. And I say, well, what's stopping you? What's holding you back? We all have the ability to give and to get. And that just makes life wonderful. So if you know folks out there who have those natural ally abilities, help find some places that they can be an ally. All right, next slide. All right, Derrick, we're moving our way through that puzzle.
Okay, who can you activate, speak up, and speak out to?
Right. So the puzzle piece before this was who for. So who can we advocate or speak up and speak out for? And you guys shared a lot of great things. But now this is a little twist on the two. Who can you advocate or speak up and speak out to? So go ahead and share your ideas. Who can you speak up and speak out or advocate to? Who can you speak up? All right, we got family, friends, guardians. Yes. The Human Rights Authority. Yes. If something's happening that people are not happy with, and certainly we are called to support people to connect with the Human Rights Authority. Employers, awesome. All entities providing healthcare, education, other services. I like, yes, people you trust. Sometimes it's hard to speak up and speak out, and doing it to people we trust. The interdisciplinary team, or the IDT, and I like this, those individuals who are not listening or speaking over the individual being omitted from the conversation. All right. Go ahead, Derrick, and share.
Case managers, social workers, teachers, family, parent or guardian, friend, doctor or nurse, counselor, leader, or legal, will have to mount that.
Legislator, yeah.
Legislators, you can speak up to anyone you want.
Yes, thank you for that. You can speak up to anyone you want. Certainly, there's times that we're more comfortable speaking up to one person versus another, or maybe it depends on the situation or the information we want to share. But I want to share just a quick story, and it has to do with the comment, those individuals who are not listening or speaking over the individual being omitted from the conversation. And this happened in an interdisciplinary team meeting. A wonderful self advocate had the idea that she was going to bring a bell, the kind that you used to see on a desk, and you would tap the top, and the person who was working the desk, who maybe was in the back room, would come out and see what was wanted. Anyhow, she had this idea. She was going to bring a bell to her next interdisciplinary team meeting, her person centered planning meeting. And whenever anybody said anything that wasn't positive or empowering or supportive of what she wanted, she was going to ring that bell. And I said, that's fantastic. Let me know how it goes. And so I had an opportunity to meet with her after her interdisciplinary team meeting. And I said, tell me how it went. She says, oh my goodness. She said, I rang that bell a lot. I said, you did? Who did you ring it for most? She said, my mother. My mother wasn't supportive. And that really, it helped her mom to see in a real way that mom could understand that she wasn't being very supportive because her daughter was ringing the bell whenever she spoke. Just a fun little story. Yes. Go to the next slide, please. All right, Derrick, here's another one.
When, okay, when and where can you activate, speak up and speak out?
All right, so we're moving through the puzzle. We talked about what people can talk about or speak up and speak out for, how they can do it, who they should do it for, they should do it to. But now where are those places and spaces? And Derrick, I think you have a lot of background stuff going on. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear us. So when and where can you advocate, or when and where can people speak up and speak out? So chime in using the chat box. When and where can people speak up and speak out? And we already have someone who says anytime and anywhere. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Anytime and anywhere. There really isn't a place in space that you can't. Again, some people might be more comfortable with places and spaces, but when you think about the whole wide world, we want people to know you can, if you are comfortable and you feel safe to do it, you can speak out whenever and wherever you want, for the good things, the bad things, the hard things. So next slide, please. Derrick's gonna share what other self-advocates have taught us. Go ahead, Derrick.
Okay, home, school, and work, IEP, oh, and that, oh, I can't pronounce that word.
Individualized.
In physical education program, discovery and personal center plan meeting, community day service, wherever you receive service in the community, restaurant, bowling alley, actor, apartment, doctor, hair salon, actor, the captain of legal office.
Yes. So again, anywhere and everywhere you can speak up and speak out. And it's great when I'm working with some newer self-advocates and I say, well, how many of you like to go out to eat? And oh, everybody's hands goes up. And I said, well, how many of you like McDonald's? And a lot of people will raise their hand. And I say, well, so maybe before COVID, uh, who went into McDonald's to order? Yes. And I said, so what did you do? Did you go up to the counter? They said, yes. And I said, and did you just stand there? And they said, well, no, I had to order. And I said, yes. When you are ordering, you are being a self-advocate. And oh, the light bulb goes off. And I said, and what happens if you order a Big Mac and instead of a Big Mac, they give you a fillet of fish? What would you do? And they say, well, I'd tell them that was wrong. And I said, yes, you're being a self-advocate. And then Derrick and I got to talking and I said, so Derrick, when you go to the barber, do you just sit down in the chair and they start doing whatever? Or what do you do? What do you say, Derrick, when you go to the barber?
Okay. What? Okay, repeat that one time. I'm sorry, I
No.
didn't hear.
Oh, that's okay. So when you go to the barber, do you just sit down and don't say anything about what you want done with your
Oh
hair?
no.
What do you do?
I tell them, oh, what kind of haircut I want.
Exactly.
How low I want my haircut and stuff like that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's what I do.
Right. And as we're supporting people, there's lots of opportunities for us to empower them to speak up. So maybe it is when they're at the bowling alley and they have to tell the person at the counter what size shoe they want, or maybe you're out to eat with them and the server asks you, the support person, what they the person you're dining with wants to drink, and maybe you just gently help the server to understand. Ask the other person, like, I don't know, ask them, they can tell you what they want. So just as we are helping support the person in developing self-advocacy, we're helping the wider community understand the importance of self-advocacy and the importance of personhood. I am a person. I can order. I know what I want. Yes. All right, next slide, please. So we are turning the corner and we're rounding home. This is the last piece of that self-advocacy puzzle. Go ahead, Derrick.
Okay, why why should you activate for speak up and speak out?
Well, this is like the $50 million question. Why should you advocate? Why should you speak up and speak out? Why is it important? Why do we want people to do it? And so we want to hear from you. Go ahead and chime in to make the world a better place and to help others. Yes. Yes, we can all help others. We can be the helper and we can be the helpee, and it all works together, right?
Right.
What other reasons? What are some other reasons that people should advocate or speak up and speak out? All right, to stand up for your rights and to let people know what those, what you, what, oh man, I can't speak right now. To stand up for your rights and to let people know that the people you support have rights too. To speak up for those who can't, because it's important to support self-determination and to be able to get information or items needed by the person. Yeah. And thank you for sharing this. Sometimes people are uncomfortable with others that are not like them, and they do not know how to approach the person with a disability or that are different from them. And so thank you for sharing that. And as we get out into the world, we can show through our actions and how we are engaging with each other that we are more alike than different. Yes, thank you. All right, so Derrick, what have we learned from other self-advocates on why they should speak up and speak out?
It is good to ask for something you want or need. It is good to ask for something someone else may want or need. Put a stop to what you do not like or want to get better service and support. To show we are equal, it is my right to speak up for myself.
Yes, at the end of the day, it is my right to speak up for myself. It's Derrick's right to speak up for himself. It's Rodney's right to speak up for himself, Tammy's, Sybil's. Yes. And a lot of us know that, but maybe people that we support don't know that. And so we have to help them to understand that and find places and spaces where they can do it and learn it in, in a safe way. But then at some point, we got to branch out into that wider world. So next slide. So Derrick, this is a great quote. Please share it with us.
I speak up and speak out for myself and for others.
Yeah. And Derrick does this very well. He speaks up for himself. He encourages others to speak up for themselves. And sometimes he does speak out on behalf of others. So thank you, Derrick. Next slide. So where do we go from here? So we've learned about the pieces of the self-advocacy puzzle. So where do we go from here? And the image on the screen is a signpost and with arrows in different directions, and the words include oh, Derrick. Derrick.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, no, hold on a second. Before you read it, there was some background noise. So now that it's a little bit quieter, go ahead and read this.
Hold on 1 minute.
Okay. Derrick, can I go ahead and read it for you so we can continue on? Well, I'm going to go ahead and read it. So the sign.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead,
Okay,
Derrick.
I'm sorry. Right, I have to. Oh, I'm in the middle of doing something else too. Okay, now what you were saying?
Can you go ahead and read what's on these signs, please?
Okay, where do you go from here?
Yes.
What, who, where, why, how, question,
And
answer.
answer. Yes. So next slide. So I want to tell you that the Alliance is a resource. And like I said, it may be one of Illinois' best kept secrets. So we have a website, and I encourage you to check that out. We have a lot of great information on the website. A couple of you have mentioned rights, and there are rights of people who live in and receive services. Derrick, are you able to put yourself on mute for the background noise? Oh, thank you. So there is a list of rights that people receiving services have to review and sign every year. And it can be difficult to understand. It's difficult for me to understand. But the Alliance has put that list of rights into easier to understand language and also included pictures. So that's on our website. And I encourage you to check out our website. We'll give you the address at the end and just peruse and see all the great resources we have available. Not only is it free, which is a great 4-letter F word, but it's fabulous. So next slide. So Derrick, share what some of the things that we have on our website. Derrick, are you there? All right. I'm not sure if we lost Derrick, but on our website, the Alliance publishes a monthly news. Oh, Derrick, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead and share what's on the screen.
Okay, monthly news, January 2016. Monthly newsletter, January 2016, February 2021. 60 recording webinar.
Mhm.
Registered Sex Education Act,
Yes.
HB, I'm gonna want to read, HB 329 PA 1010506
Yes.
19 leave applicant, self-applicant.
Yes, so we have a lot of great resources. We publish a monthly newsletter, and you can check out past issues. We have more than 60 recorded webinars, and many of the webinars and other resources were will definitely help developed by self-advocates, but they inform us of the things that are important to them, and they help lead us on. So next slide. We also have a Facebook page. So if you are a Facebook user and you would like to find us and like us, we really appreciate you doing that at least once a day. Derrick, can you go ahead?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of loud in your background. So if you could
Yeah,
put
I'm just coming in my building.
On mute, okay. So we have an Alliance Facebook page, and at least once a day, if not a couple of times a day, we are posting advocacy and learning opportunities. A lot of them are either local or statewide, but we have some that are national. Some have to do with legislative advocacy. And so there's always something for everyone, a little bit of something for everyone there. So next slide. Derrick, go ahead and tell us about Facebook and email listserv.
Okay, Facebook, daily posts about local, state, and national learning and applicant opportunity. Email, let near daily posts about local, state, and national learning and applicant opportunity.
So in addition to our Facebook page that you can find and like, you can send us an email. We'll show you that email address in a few minutes, and you can let us know that you would like to be put onto the monthly newsletter listserv. And if you want to be on our email listserv, and again, as Derrick mentioned, we have near daily posts that are sent out about local, state, and national learning and advocacy opportunities. All right. So to connect with us, if you'd like to connect with us, we have an email. You can send an email to info@selfadvocacyalliance.org. Our website is selfadvocacyalliance.org, and you can find us and like us on Facebook. So at this point, we would like to take any questions, comments, or contributions. So go ahead and you can type them in. Let's see. You can choose everyone, or you can choose panelists. We'll get those. So again, questions, comments, and contributions.
Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation, Krescene and Derrick. We do have some questions in the question section as well. One of them is, what are your top 3 recommendations for setting up a self-advocacy group?
Wow, that's a great question. The top 3 recommendations. Well, the first is, do you have a core group, maybe 3 to 6 people who are they're ready to form and start doing some things to speak up and speak out. That's the first thing. The second thing is, are you able to meet? Some of our self-advocacy groups are able to meet in person because people are starting to get their vaccines. Maybe they're able to gather wearing masks and socially distancing. But on our resources page on the Alliance's website, there is a great guide for starting self-advocacy groups. And it kind of takes you through the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of starting a self-advocacy group. But the biggest thing is, you have a group of self-advocates who want to do it. As an advisor, as an ally, I can't want it for people. I mean, I can want it for people, but I can't want it more than they want it for themselves. I can't be their spark. I can't be their fire. I can be their supporter. So hopefully you have a group. So is there a minimal number of folks needed to make a group? That's another great question. No. I would say a good group to start with is, again, 4 to 6. You start to get some movement. Maybe you have monthly meetings. Again, that resource is going to help you, whether it's coming up with a template for sharing flyers for the meeting, coming up with a date and time, but get several meetings under your belt so that you're feeling comfortable before you add other people in. We also have a great resource on our website called Environmental Checklist. And it's a checklist that you can do as a group, and you just think about things that maybe there's opportunities to change at your agency or organization. And maybe you take the checklist, and as a group you decide, you know what, we would like to talk to our executive director or a supervisor, maybe the board of directors, about some things that are important. All right. Will I put the website address up again? So yes, it is actually on the screen right now. At least I can see it on the screen right now. Yeah. There's another question. Does the Alliance send individuals to offsite meetings once COVID is better? And I'm not exactly sure what that means, but if it means, does the Alliance have staff come out to self-advocacy group meetings just to meet with them and talk about the Alliance and kind of energize people? Yes, the Alliance does do that. The Alliance can do that as well if you are holding virtual meetings. So even if your group is not a member group, we have 38 member groups. We would like every group to be a member group, but sometimes the groups don't want to, and that's okay. But maybe you're thinking about starting a group. Maybe you already have a group. Let us know. Email us. We would love to come and attend one of your meetings. It can be virtual. Hopefully in the future, it can be in person, but we would love to do that. Here's another question. Does the group have to work on advocacy or policy stuff, or can groups have fun social things? I think groups can do both. I would caution that groups shouldn't be all about fun. I mean, we can have fun while we're planning for legislative action and advocacy action, but a great balance. We want people to be empowered. We want them to work together to do things that help equalize power, but we also recognize that we need to celebrate our accomplishments and celebrate being a group. So doing some fun social things is definitely in order. Here's another thing. When you sign up for the newsletter or you sign up for the email listservs, we are going to be starting some great monthly webinars. So if you are an advisor or you're thinking about being an advisor, we are going to be having our monthly For Advisors Only meeting on Monday, March 22nd from 2 to 3. And again, if you're on our email listserv, we send out information. And this month, we're going to be talking about self-care. We recognize that advisors and allies from our member groups and other groups, usually that's not their only job. That's kind of the other duties as assigned, right? And in the topsy-turvy world of COVID, we have been stretched and pulled thin. And so we want to make sure that you know that you are worthy of self-care. And we're going to provide some opportunities for self-care. Another thing that we are starting this month is called Relationships on Tap. And it's for self-advocates who want to chime in, grab a beverage, coffee, tea, pop, hot chocolate, even a bottle of water. Probably all need to drink more water. And it's Relationships on Tap. And our first Relationships on Tap is scheduled for, let's see, Friday, March 19th. And I want to say it's from 11:30 to 12:30. But again, that's going to be in our newsletter. And we're going to have different local self-advocates and national self-advocates talk about relationships. And we'll be using some relationships cards to talk about relationships. I might be talking about rights and boundaries and privacy and all those things. But that's just a drop in. These are things that you don't have to schedule to attend, but it's what we want to offer because we think it's the right thing to give people opportunities to learn with and from each other. All right. Are there other questions, comments, or contributions? Because I see we're kind of winding down.
Krescene and Derrick, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. It looks like there's people that are commenting and appreciating your presentation as well. Thank you everyone for joining us to the webinar. For the webinar today, please join us for our next webinar, which is on March 10th at the same time. It is at 12 p.m., which is demanding a livable wage and introduction to the Chicago Disability Activism Collective, the CDAC SSI campaign. Thank you so much for attending today.
Derrick, thank you very much for your presentation.